It's my bucket.
This is my bucket and it belongs to me. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Hello!
So we live.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Sam. That's
Hola.
Caleb. That's Chris.
That's right.
That's not
I looked
right.
at the wrong ones.
That's actually
right.
not right.
It's 2 podcasts in a row. I think I messed that up.
It's fine.
That's Chris and that's Caleb.
I'm Chris.
Chris, I'll be you for a day. It's okay.
This is
You're not going to like it.
Steve.
Aw.
Steve the bucket.
Are you okay, Chris?
No, I'm not.
Hi, Steve.
We feels point.
Field Point. Field Point Productions.
Why did I think a good half of our
I think a
podcast
field-
now
I
we've
think
had
a field-
Starbucks.
I think a field point is when, after scoring a touchdown in football, is when you kick it through the uprights.
That's
a field
right,
point.
Chris.
We learned that.
Maybe I do want to be you.
We learned that playing Madden. Go watch our Madden video.
We learned that Sam can't kick a field goal from the 30-yard line.
We also learned that Madden is hard when you have input lag because of recording software.
It's not that noticeable.
Wow. I feel like I'm I'm the awkward.
Hey,
Like-
I just want to ask you a question, Chris.
Caleb's over there like, I hate it when mom and dad fight.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, can I ask you a question? Hey, who won everybody's golf?
You may not
Ooh.
ask me a question.
Michael Jackson won
Who
everybody's
everyone's
golf.
That's
You know-
blatantly not-
you know
Scoring doesn't matter.
Michael
you know
Jackson got last when everyone's golf.
If you guys, you there, want a picture into the eternal torment that is my life, the one time Sam has ever beaten me is the one time that we freaking recorded that game. Every other time we played, I've won.
You know, Chris, you know what's funny?
and it's so
There's
irritating.
no factual data to back that up.
There's actually there is. I can pull up our records on the PlayStation.
Yeah, but why would you do that when the people can just
prove-
watch
to
the
prove a point.
incredible everybody's golf video that we
To
made?
prove it, guess who runs the
Where
safe
Sam
on Twitter
wins.
and who's going to be taking a screenshot later tonight?
I'm just saying, everybody's golf video is a great video, and you should all watch it.
Everybody's golf is a great
Spoiler
video.
alert: Patricia wins.
No.
That's true. Prediction does win.
Michael Jackson wins the People's
The beauty
Award.
pageant portion.
The
of it.
People's
The
Award.
beauty pageant portion.
The favorite of everyone award. Michael Jackson. And it was so
He was. She was. It was my favorite of the 3 of our awful creations.
what?
I just came up with a terrible joke. I
What?
don't want to say it.
It's fine. We can censor it. If it's that bad, we can censor it.
Well, you're
No, it's fine because
talking about Michael Jackson
Not gonna censor
winning like the People's Choice Awards, like the Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh,
and just in case they decide to censor that, here we are again.
I don't know if I call it the kid's choice. More like
Sam! Oh God!
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my God!
the Kids' Choice Awards took on a whole new
I'm
meaning
gonna have
for
to
me.
go
Well, because
take a
I'm sitting here
shower or
like
something. I feel
Michael
gross
Jackson
after that
won
one,
the
huh?
People's Choice Award, and Chris is like, heh, Kids' Choice Award, heh.
Because it was a kid's joke.
Yeah,
It's
because
you
'cause
know the whole.
Michael
the whole
Jackson
molesting
was he convicted?
thing. No, he got.
He
off.
died.
I
He did die. that's
spoilers.
true. No,
Yeah.
no, he was. He was.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
He was found not guilty, but most people consider that to be false.
Kind of like how most people consider OJ's original not guilty finding false.
Yeah, comparable.
Pretty sure OJ killed somebody.
Did you see Nelly just went to prison for
Allegedly.
rape?
Who did?
Nelly.
Yeah, Nelly was arrested.
Like the rapper Nelly?
Yeah.
If you want to go and take a ride with
No,
me.
the rodeo clown. Nelly the rodeo
Wait,
clown.
Nelly the rapper raped somebody and is in jail now?
was
apparently.
arrested for
Oh, was he
alleged-
arrested? I'm sorry. He was arrested. for rape.
Allegedly.
So Nelly...
So he'll probably get off.
Yes.
Well,
He's
kind of
got-
like how he got off when he...
He's got money. Don't finish that sentence.
Anyway, since probably censor that, welcome back to the podcast. This is 4 times throughout the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast.
This is a family-friendly show, guys.
We never said it was family friendly.
Welcome to Save Point Productions. We're a family-friendly production.
We're not quite most other channels. I think most of us got the tongues pretty well up
Here's-
until about that moment.
Here's the
there.
question. Do we meet the YouTube algorithm as being friendly for a 5-year-old? Like, you know how YouTube's new algorithm says that in order to get money, you have to be, like, friendly for a 5-year-old?
It's mostly so that your videos aren't demonetized.
Yeah, but we're not monetizing anything through YouTube anyway.
Age restricted.
Yeah, but YouTube has given us so much money.
Nothing so far.
That's not
we can't,
true.
We can't even have our own URL.
Yeah. If you have friends, which most of you do, if you could encourage them to subscribe, or if you could make, I think we need 64 bot accounts to subscribe to us, so we can get 100 subs.
Again, I think I've said this before, but don't do that. That would actually
The second one. Do the first one.
That would actually get the channel banned.
No, don't make bots. I'm kidding. But do encourage your friends to subscribe, because if we had 100 subs to get our own URL instead of our stupid youtube.com/HGC Flim square root of 5 Caleb's mom 72.
That's not the word phlegm, mind you. It's actual phlegm. You have to spit a little
Yeah,
bit.
I just got.
Just have to- What's your YouTube? Hold on.
It's HTC 7543 8675309.
Welcome to YouTube. So if you could subscribe, I'll be honest, I don't get that feature. Like if in Twitter, if all of us could just have our own our Twitter URL, twitter.com/SamWarMusic/SavePoint Why can't
Save
YouTube
Point Chris.
Chris? Why can't YouTube just do that? Like obviously, youtube.com/SavePointProductions is a free URL. Why don't they just do that?
I don't think it's a free URL. They would have to pay for the URL.
But like
do they not?
they paid for it the same way they paid for SavePoint. youtube.com/HCFlim72. YouTube, get us a URL, please. Please.
Yeah, I think it's just the quantity of channels that they have, especially with the introduction of Google Plus. You can have multiple accounts under one
if each
user login.
I don't know, because Twitter.
I think it's different though when you have to think about how YouTube is hosting all of the videos that people upload. I think it's a way of almost curation.
The pure URL name, I don't know. If Twitter can do it, and Twitter has way more people on it than YouTube has
I
channels.
think it's a difference.
Yeah, but I don't think
there's got to be something going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of.
Or bear with me, YouTube is run by monkeys.
Now,
it's
think about it.
I really enjoy insulting them while also
Look
taking
at the
advantage
evidence.
of their platform.
Hey, I love YouTube as a platform.
I like YouTube as a friend. I don't love them.
Yeah, I was going to say, me and
YouTube's
YouTube
had
are
some
kind of on
missteps in the last few years.
a business basis of we shake hands and we say hello, but we're not first name yet. So
I'll talk to YouTube around the water cooler and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not inviting him to my birthday party.
yes.
No.
YouTube's a weird guy.
Yeah.
That explains. I was wondering why YouTube wasn't at your birthday party last week. That makes sense now.
2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well 2 weeks ago from when we'll be uploading this.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: we filmed this in the same day as the last
Hashtag
podcast.
YouTube at the water cooler.
Most of October's videos will be filmed in 2 days.
Yep.
That's fine.
Pretty much, we filmed the last podcast. Went to Starbucks. I got Skyline Chili, and then we came back, and here we are.
Skyline Chili. How are you?
I
How
forgot we were
are
getting
you
wings.
doing?
I probably wouldn't have gotten Skyline if I remember.
Are you doing okay? Are you still composed?
Dude, I eat Skyline all the time.
Oh,
it's my unhealthy.
this makes
vice.
sense.
You know what else we can do is I can just scrape out whatever's in the garbage disposal right now, and it should taste about the same.
Actually, whatever in the fridge, we had stuff in the fridge for a while.
It's basically put some cheese on it, and you got Skyline Chili.
Habanero cheese. Thank you very much.
So what's the deal? Is it's like conies, right? What is a coney?
It's like a hot dog with chili on it.
Is that really all a coney is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what a coney is.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like that.
What's the
Coney
fascination?
Island is a different thing.
Well,
A
yes.
coney is a chili hot dog.
Yeah.
Well, because I know they're really popular.
Yeah, 'cause they're delicious.
just across the board for restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because they're amazing.
Yeah. Chili hot dogs are
And
the
Sam
classic.
said that in the store, and I had no idea what he was talking about. So
A coney?
yeah,
Yeah, it's a thing.
and
Yeah.
apparently they're disgusting.
Did you like?
Evidently.
No, they're delicious. Did you
Conies,
like?
conies are great.
Did you like how I
Skyline
just-
chili is not.
I ordered it at the
Oh.
menu because I know everything on the menu there. I went there once. So Wednesdays is family night as it used to be. Your kids eat free.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a kid, my family would go every single Wednesday night.
I'm sorry.
That's good.
Oh, it all makes sense now.
Have you had Skyline yet, Caleb?
I'm okay.
No. Why are you letting Chris, who hates Donato's pizza, taint your opinion of Skyline?
This is good.
This is bad pizza.
This is a good point. Donato's is decent pizza.
Yeah,
Donato's is
Donato's
good
decent.
pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced you guys are good pizza.
This is-
Weren't you in Chicago? How can you go to Chicago and then say that Donato's is good pizza?
They're different kinds of pizza.
I went to New York
yeah,
City.
good and bad.
No, just this is like saying that
This is my favorite thing to do. It's so easy to get you guys riled up over this pizza.
oh, the Donato's thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like saying
Hey,
that.
Chris.
It's the one thing that I have over you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we have a lot of things we can be
All you guys have to do is
expensive
poke
Legos.
at anything that I like, and I'll instantly be mad.
It's true.
which sucks. I got nothing for you guys except for Donato's.
Because Donato's is good.
No.
Donato.
No, just because Donato's isn't as good as other pizzas, it's like my argument from the last podcast, right? When I said that it's like saying...
I'm sorry, did you say just because it might not be as good as other places, that doesn't mean it's bad? That's literally the definition of bad.
No, not as good. So, yes, there's like Lou Malnati's, which is the best pizza in Chicago. Don't at me. Just because Lou Malnati's is probably the best pizza in the world doesn't mean that pizzas that aren't as good as Lou Malnati's aren't good. Tom Brady is the best quarterback in the NFL, right? That doesn't mean
but
that
that's
Aaron
like
Rodgers
saying...
is a bad quarterback because he's not as good as Tom Brady. I would gladly have Aaron Rodgers starting on the Bengals. He's still a very good quarterback. He's just not the best. Donato's isn't the best, no.
That would still make him... Let's say just because he's not as good as
Lower
the other
quality?
ones, if you were to put them on a list, that would put him at the
Well,
bottom.
one is accessible and one is not.
Because freaking
Do you
Donato's...
understand what I'm saying?
No.
Because
Not being the
Donato's
best
is not
doesn't...
as good
No,
as-
not being the best doesn't put you at the bottom.
Because it's not as good as any of these other places around, that puts it at the
But
bottom
it's
of the
not.
list when compared to the other
But
ones,
it's
which
not. No, no, no.
objectively makes it
here's
the
the thing.
worst.
Here's the thing.
But it's not. There are much
Do you
worse.
understand?
Little Caesars.
I understand what you're saying. The problem is your phrasing is incorrect.
Little Caesars-
I'm trying to correct your phrasing,
No,
not
I
your
said,
argument.
No. My exact words were, it's not as good as Lou Malnati's. Not that it's not.
Not
as,
that. Just because it's not as good as other places doesn't mean it's the worst. That's literally
No,
what that means.
not all other.
but what he's
some
saying-
other places, not all other
You
places.
said all.
No, I didn't. I said just because it's not as good
I
as
am
other
trying
places.
to help you
What?
because you
Hold
are
on.
so wrong.
The idea is
No!
that...
almost as wrong
Shut your mouth, Chris.
as Caleb mentioned that Smash 64 is a bad game.
Listen, what I'm
Don't
saying...
change the subject. Shut up.
I like to think. Are we done with this?
No.
I legitimately don't enjoy this.
Donato's is not the Jacksonville Jaguars of pizza. Maybe Donato's is like
your
your.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Maybe Donato's is
What
your Andy Dalton.
Sam is saying
It's
is
a
that
game manager
Donato's is
pizza.
not at the bottom. Yes, being at the bottom of the list objectively makes you the worst, but Sam's saying that Donato's is...
It's better than Domino's.
That's not what he said.
What?
Hold on. Before you say anything, that is your argument, yes, but those are not the words that
No.
come out of your mouth.
Listen,
that was the intention.
when
with
we're
you
done
didn't
with the
phrase it
podcast-
properly, and I'm trying to help you. Just let me help you.
When
You
we're
know,
done with the podcast,
did you
we're
guys
gonna
know that
rewind.
recently there was a study done that most arguments are caused by people who agree on a subject but do wording differently?
Listen, Chris, we're going to rewind the podcast afterwards, and we're going to listen. What I said was Donato's is not as good as others. Not all others. There are some that are above it and some that are below it. That's all that I'm saying.
I haven't had anything that's worse than Donato's yet.
It's
so.
better than Domino's. It's better than Papa John's. It's better than Little Caesars.
Yeah.
You are not
No.
telling me that Little Caesars
I'll-
pizza is better
I'm
than
glad to take Little
Donato's.
Caesars over Donato's.
What?
Yeah.
Little
Caesars
Have you
is-
ever had Little Caesars the day after?
Yeah.
It's actual piss.
Yeah. So is Donato's.
No, Donato's is great.
Look,
the day
let me phrase it this way for you, so you can hear my opinion on Donato's. I would rather eat the box that the pizza comes in than the actual pizza.
Yeah, but like the box has like the cheese and the oils and stuff, so
You're
I
kinda
guess you
still
could...
eating the pizza.
Not the whole pizza.
Part
Just
of
some of the stuff that touched it.
I only know this because I've
Which
eaten the box
even then,
before,
I might
so
eat around
it's
I
not-
might eat around the bits that were touching the pizza, like the corners of the box is what I would rather eat because it has more flavor in that than that awful pizza. I can't stand Donato's.
Donato's is fine.
I kind of want some Donato's pizza now.
I think we're getting wings from there, aren't we?
Probably. But
Wing Street, that's what it is.
this is the Pizza
My
Hut
gosh.
wings.
You know, I had
Pizza's not
a topic. If you guys wanted to totally move on
Pizza
from
Hut's
the
not
pizza
great.
argument,
Donato's is better than Pizza Hut.
I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time.
bad.
I wouldn't be able to make an informed
Like
decision.
airport pizza is worse than Donato's. Cafeteria pizza is worse than Donato's.
Yeah, but how often do you go out and get cafeteria pizza? I'm talking about pizza that is readily available at all times.
Little Caesars,
Yeah.
what is actually readily available.
No, I'll gladly take Little Caesars over Donato's, honestly. No, and here's the thing. That's not my first choice. But if you were to say, would you like Little Caesars or Donato's, I'll take Little Caesars. One, it'll be cheaper, and two, it'll taste better.
It's one of those two things, that's for sure.
Here's the thing. Really though, if you were to say these are the only two pizzas you can eat, I just wouldn't eat pizza. I'd just eat something else.
If those are
I'd
the
be
only
like,
two
no,
pizzas I
don't.
can eat, I would still eat pizza.
No.
A lot of
you would
it.
invent like the better pizza.
I would go to however far the closest Papa John's is. I'd have to go find.
Papa John's is bad.
I
what
love
are you
Papa
talking
John's
about?
pizza.
I just like their garlic dip.
Yeah, their garlic dip's
That
good.
is
I'll give
really
them
good.
that.
They do
You
the real
guys-
fluffy crust, right? And you get the peppers and mushrooms on there, and their stuff's good. And they do the thing that I like a lot, where they'll cook the pepperonis like into the cheese and stuff too. I like
You
pepperonis.
guys
I
know
like their
it's-
sauce.
It's just pizza, right? It's dough and cheese and marinara sauce.
How about you shut up?
The best pizza.
You're the Italian here.
It's like the simple, and that's why I understand that American pizza is so sucky. I mean, well, here's the thing: Italian like pizza, like in the Americanized sense, doesn't really exist. Like they took a lot of Italian ingredients and kind of smashed them together, but like there's not a lot of
Now,
pizza.
the actual best pizza place in the world, which unfortunately you guys can't confirm because you haven't been there because it only exists in the Southwest, is a restaurant chain called Dion's, which was in Albuquerque.
Sure.
And, they actually have the best pizza that I've ever had.
Authentic Italian pizza is a lot of like vegetables and meats and stuff, kind of like layered in a certain way, and the dough is cooked differently, and a lot of like olives and stuff like that are cooked into the dough.
Olives are gross.
Olives are so good. Why do people hate olives?
I don't like black
Not good.
olives. I like
Why?
green olives.
My life is ruined.
Now that I'm starting to like peppers, olives are the last food that I don't like.
I've still,
Like,
got,
I'll eat-
I've still got a couple
thoroughly
I'm trying to get around.
disappointed.
I love peppers. I put them in everything anytime I make food.
I'm starting to like them more. I'm trying to make myself like them more. 'Cause
I
they're good
love
for you.
bell peppers. I'm trying to get around my thing with tomatoes. I want to
You
like
have a thing with
I-
tomatoes?
I don't like tomatoes, and I really want to like.
They've
tomatoes.
grown on. I'm telling you, here's what you gotta do: eat a lot of like dishes that have tomatoes in them,
I'm trying. That's what
and you'll
I'm,
get used to it.
that's what I'm doing.
lot of
but the
casseroles.
The problem, I don't like casseroles in
I love
general,
casserole.
really. But because I didn't grow up eating a lot of vegetables, I was always like a fruit.
Okay,
and
so
potato
like,
starches
do you like
and
tomato
meats kinda
sauce and
guy.
stuff?
I do like tomato sauce.
Well, then what's the thing with tomatoes? What
Is
about
that-
like
is
what
that
about like a nice
tomatoes
hamburger?
don't taste like tomato sauce because there are
Do you
other
like?
things in
Do you
tomato
like
sauces.
tomato soup?
Yeah.
I
It
like
doesn't
tomato
taste
soup.
like tomatoes.
Just like tomatoes.
Tomato soup still has other things in it.
Yeah, but like so does like a hamburger.
No, they just
Tomatoes-
take tomatoes and water and they stir them together, and that's tomato soup.
I think that's right. Yeah.
It's not true.
Anyways, I thought hamburgers were like tomatoes. Like I mean, I know what I just
Run that by
said.
me one more time.
Wait a s-
I know what I
Wait a
just
s-
said. Made no sense, but hamburgers had tomatoes in them. So
Oh,
like,
no.
you don't like hamburgers with tomatoes?
No, I don't.
Hamburgers are like tomatoes.
No, see, here's the thing is, especially because I love sandwiches, I love hamburgers, and I
Hamburger.
like salads. All of,
Deconstructing
and I like
Chris's food
I like
opinions.
Tacos. All of these things prominently feature tomatoes, and I want to like them because they're on everything.
Do you like pico de gallo?
No,
I love
it's tomato.
Vecchio.
It's
I love
tomatoes
pico
and
de gallo.
onions. Two things I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I don't even like onions, which always makes me sad. I was gonna put onions in the scrambled eggs I made you guys this morning, but I know you don't like onions, so I didn't get you.
And that's something else I'm trying to work around as well. But onions for me, it's not a taste thing; it's a texture thing.
Does Brittany like onions?
Yeah. Yeah, she does. I usually give her my onions.
Oh, so I could have just put onions in the egg and told you to suck it.
I would still eat them. I can deal with onions. I would prefer not to have them at all, just because it's a texture thing that I don't like.
Okay, what about like on a
onions.
pizza?
Huh?
What if that pizza were from Donato's?
I would just starve. But it's like tomatoes look good. They're on a lot of things that I like to eat.
They're
and
red.
so I'm trying to get myself to like them and eat it more. But the problem is that they all just taste like dirty water.
Tomatoes are a fruit.
I kind of like dirty water.
Yeah, it's
Wait, Chris, you don't like dirty water?
I have a question for you guys.
Oh my
Answer's
gosh.
no.
Before I made a bad dirty water
yes.
joke.
Yeah.
No.
So here's
Yes.
my question:
It's a Lecrae song, right?
what food would, let's say you're really hungry, it's 5:30 at night, and you haven't eaten all
Like
day.
in the evening?
Yeah,
Okay.
you haven't eaten all day.
You mean like right now?
No, 5:30 at night a.m.
What's if
That's
there's
why I was clarifying.
what's the one food, no matter how hungry you are, you wouldn't eat? Like for you, if I just used to say it's Donato's pizza.
I mean, here's the
like if
thing.
your option are not eat for a whole day or eat some Donato's pizza, you would pick not eat for
I,
a whole
I,
day.
I would probably eat Donato's pizza.
Hold on, but there's like a lot of stuff that's
I don't
defined
dislike
as
it.
food.
I don't dislike it that much. I just like to rile you guys up.
I think you really,
Um,
what you should do is like find the minimum
I'm not
bar.
talking like
No,
Rocky
no.
Mountain oysters.
No,
None of us are
no,
eating
no,
Rocky
no.
Mountain oysters.
No.
I
See,
eat
my
Rocky
thing with
Mountain
Donatos is I just like to poke at you guys. It's like I'll eat it if it's.
I like
presented to me.
oysters.
My
Do you know
boss
what-
gets me Donatos. Like, who am I?
No, I don't
talking
know what
to?
that is.
Nobody apparently.
I like
Maybe
oysters.
you.
I don't know.
Do you know what Rocky Mountain oysters are?
Huh?
Do you know what Rocky Mountain oysters are?
I assume they're oysters.
That's what I assumed.
They are cow testicles.
Oh, I mean, how are they prepared?
They're like cooked.
Raw.
You just kind of cut off the sack and just hand it
Ew.
to you.
You just grab them.
Here's the thing. People will define herring that they have fermented and stuck in the ground, salted for like months, and it's literally rotten herring that they'll dig up.
Like the
and
fish?
eat. Yes, they'll eat that in like there's like native tribes indigenous to the area that does it,
Yeah,
and that
tribes
can
also eat like bugs.
that's like food per se. So like I guess your real question should be like, what's the minimum food that
Yeah,
you
what's-
Give me some choices.
Like, for instance, like Donatos is the question. Like,
No, I'll eat Donatos. I don't actually dislike it that
okay,
much. I
in
like to poke it.
snail. Snail's a big thing in like other
escargot?
countries.
escargot?
Yeah, would you eat escargot?
Yeah, I've eaten
Yeah.
escargot before.
There's
What
a lot of
about-
things. Here's the thing. There's not a lot of things that I won't try at least once.
What about eyeballs?
Yeah, I'll try them.
Just
Eyeballs are good.
like
Okay.
human.
I've never had human eyeballs, but I've had cow and sheep.
They're not like human eyeballs.
I probably wouldn't. If I opened my fridge and the only thing was a plate of sheep eyeballs, I'd probably say no. I'll wait till.
Not like raw. Not like they just like pluck
Wait.
them out and put them on a plate.
Wait, Chris, did you ask like human eyeballs?
I think that's illegal.
You have to clarify, dog. You can't just say eyeballs. If
Well,
I say
wait,
immediately, I'm gonna be like,
The
human.
implicate it's like animal eyeballs.
I'm just saying, look, I don't know how they got.
You're
there.
like, oh, I don't know.
I
Some
don't know
people
how they
just
got
like
there.
this.
They were just there.
They were
None
there.
of this has been described to me so far.
Yeah, they're not
How do you prepare
human
eyeballs? Do you like
either way? I'm gonna say
boil
no.
them,
do
boiled
you
eyeballs.
boil them?
Yeah, it's like hard boiled eggs, but hard boiled eyeballs.
Either way, I'm gonna say no. That sounds gross. I ain't gonna do it.
I'll try
Okay,
them once.
I guess, are there any foods that you guys wouldn't eat?
Eyeballs probably.
Okay, let's go more normal.
It's-
Give me
eyeballs.
I don't know.
Because I don't really know.
Bones,
That's the thing. You can't just say, "Is there anything you wouldn't eat?" I'm gonna say probably
You're
not, unless you
pickier
tell me
than I
something
am.
that's really, really gross, like a tomato.
Like, it's just one solitary tomato in your fridge. That's
Yeah.
all you have.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
So you just
I'll
rather
wait till
not.
tomorrow.
You'd rather not eat than eat one solitary.
What if you're
tomato.
not gonna have food for another week and you're already really hungry?
I'll just die. That's okay.
And eating one
You
tomato.
would choose dying over eating a tomato.
You know, a tomato is not gonna sustain me for the next week.
Yeah, but it's the implication. It's like, okay, you eat this tomato, now you can eat other stuff. It's like, imagine, like,
okay. I could
Saw.
I could,
Yeah, it's like a saw scenario. But it's just you and a tomato in a room together.
You want to play a game?
uh,
a tomato dangles from the
Yeah, it's
ceiling.
just an empty room and there's just a tomato, and inside the tomato there's a key. But
I could stomach it through that. That's not a big deal.
or you could just tear over the tomato and get the key, I guess. But
No, you have to
Why
eat
do
the
I have
tomato.
to eat it?
No, that's the
What if I
point,
swallow
Sam.
the key?
You have to eat the food.
what if you eat the key though?
The key is not in the tomato. It's like it drops down after you eat it or
Oh,
something.
I
I
put
don't
it.
know.
I said
Yeah, he
key
said
is
it was in the tomato, so I said, "What if you swallow it?"
Yeah, but my idea is why.
Sauce 17. The tomato.
Chris
comment.
and the
But
tomato.
here's the thing: in the original scenario that Sam proposed to us, it's just that if it were late at night and you wouldn't be able to eat until the next day, I'm probably going to pass on something that I don't like in favor of getting something that I do like in the morning.
It's fair. I don't think I'm with Caleb. I don't think there's anything I want to try at least once.
I'm with
Except
you.
maybe
I'm with you
Rocket
on
League.
there.
Decide. Yeah.
I'm with you
besides,
there,
like,
but if it's in the home that
As long as
that
it's
I
not
live in,
harmful
I'm not
for
putting
me to
things that I
eat.
dislike in my fridge. So if I have my fridge at 5:30, I have no food other than a solitary tomato. I'm going to say no. I can wait. That's fine.
Yeah, but like, we're talking Saw games here now. Okay. What if?
I don't watch Saw. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, me neither.
No, Saw 1 is a legitimately good movie. The rest of them are bad. But Saw 1 is like more of a police thriller than anything else. It's a good movie.
I'm not super into like the ultra gory stuff.
It's not. No, Saw 1's not that gory is the thing. The other Saws are. Saw 1 is
Isn't that
like.
the point?
No, it's Saw 1 is like basically you had these people trapped in this like house and like house, some kind of facility, right? And they have to like do horrible things like to get out. Basically, it's the games. But you don't see a whole lot of the gore in Saw 1. It's more about the mind game. Saw 1 is more of a psychological thriller than a gory movie.
Yeah, I see that.
Saw 1 also focuses a lot on the police who are chasing him and less on like what's
I
actually
still
happening.
have zero desire to watch it. I'm not a
Hold
big
on.
horror movie fan.
Chris, what time are we at?
We're at 25 minutes right
Okay, I had a topic that
Oh yeah, you have a topic.
I don't
actually.
think we've discussed this before, but I might be wrong. On have we discussed Nintendo's rehashing of? Oh, have we discussed Nintendo's kind of habit to rehash old products that they've sold before? Thank you.
now. Define like rehash or resell.
Resell.
Well,
Like
I
how
don't
Ocarina of
think
Time has been released on every single Nintendo console.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've played it on every time they've released it.
How many
So-
versions of Oot do you own?
So you don't really care that they keep
Stop calling it Oot.
selling. Also,
Just call it Ocarina. I had it on the original N64, both silver and gold cartridges.
ow, that's
ear piercing.
Can you Sam, take the buckets? Put the bucket down. Ah.
This is amazing.
I hate this show.
Can I get different sized buckets
No.
and make like a bucket choir?
No.
It's like a
Bucket-
harmonica.
A choir still requires multiple people, Sam.
No, it'd be like a harmonica, but it's just like a bunch of like pumpkin buckets and me.
But the problem is you'd have to do each individual one. It'd be like that scene
Here,
in
I'll
the,
do
the
some-
Pancake
No,
SpongeBob
I'll do
episode
some
where
Mongolian throat
Plankton's
singing
running
in
up
it.
and down the harmonica, blowing in each individual.
No, that's
hole.
exactly what I was thinking of.
It's
the final.
How many copies of Ocarina have I played? I had the N64 one. They re-released it as a pre-order on the game for Wind Waker on
Yeah.
the GameCube, and it came with the Master Quest, and I played that.
Master Quest was kind of cool.
I didn't
Master
own
Quest
it,
is awesome.
but I played that disc. I had a friend who had it, and then they released it was like a 10-year anniversary disc on the GameCube.
So
which-
is Master Quest just like flipped? Is that right?
no, Master Quest is redesigned
It's
dungeons.
so hard. There's
I've
like-
never actually played
there's-
through
you're
it.
only-
The
no, no,
concept
here's
amazes
what
me.
it is they redesigned all the dungeons to be harder the entire game, and then what you're thinking of flipped is that on the 3DS they took that GameCube Master Quest and then mirrored it.
Master Quest.
Yeah.
They mirrored.
So
Yeah,
in
they
Master
mirrored,
Quest,
they mirrored the original Master Quest on the 3DS, but the original Master Quest is actually they redesigned all the dungeons.
the heart in Master Quest, hearts don't drop from anywhere but potions. So if you get hurt, you can only
You're
restore health
stuck
through
with it
potions and
until you
fairies.
can get a potion.
Which I guess that makes sense. It does add a level of challenge to the game.
Oh no, it makes even like easy fights like the Dongo like harder.
it's crazy hard.
No, the
man.
Dongo's still easy. The Dongo is just the easiest
No, I
boss
mean the
fight.
game.
That's the one that
ever.
rolls
Yeah.
around in a circle, right?
Yeah, the Dongo is the easiest boss fight I've ever played in a video. It's insultingly easy.
I think one of the hard ones that really caught me up when I was a kid was the bongo drum guy. I don't know why, because he's pretty easy too.
What's his name? Gorogoro? No.
Something like that.
Yeah, like Gorgors.
But the point is, do you guys have a problem with them
Not really.
repeatedly reselling old products?
Not really, because it's for the most part they're just ports of the older games. You don't have to buy them.
My frustration with it is that they ignore some franchises that I would like to see. Like I feel like Nintendo
Right.
could spend their like F-Zero.
The problem
probably
is that
never get another game.
certain people own the rights to these games, and they can't, you
No,
know,
they
go.
own the rights to F-Zero. Like, that's not.
But like, you know, would Nintendo be allowed to like rehash like the DK game or like the Banjo-Kazooie game? Just without interaction
Yeah,
into Rare.
they can do the Donkey Kong Country games. They released
No,
one.
64. We were talking about in the last podcast.
I understand 64, but he asked the DK games, and I said, yeah, they can do the Donkey Kong Country games. One, they just released it there, and then they released it on the 3DS as well.
Yeah.
Um,
So like for example, this little console that we've gotten, it's really honestly I love it.
He was referring to the SNES Classic.
Right.
Here's the thing, and I think this is really just part of what. It's really just part of Nintendo's business strategy, in that they're very good at selling nostalgia. And the thing is the reason I like this SNES Classic so much is that not only, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, I'm sure you could emulate it, or, you know, it's like, well, you know, it already came out on the Super Nintendo or whatever, but I can't play my Super Nintendo on an HD TV. This gives me a way to play this in a modern setting and continue doing that, because I think older Nintendo games like this are good enough, especially considering what they've done for the gaming landscape nowadays, to continue to be re-released and modernized as
Well,
such.
additionally, I'm a huge controller and hand kind of guy.
It's actually the original SNES controller
Yeah,
with a different port on the
And
end of it.
it's not like the buttons are like changed. It feels very like
It feels
familiar.
old in a good,
you know?
It feels old in a good way.
It's the
Right.
original mold for it.
So
But that's the thing.
Yeah,
That's why.
did you know that they used the original mold for those? Yeah,
Well, like-
that's a literal Super Nintendo controller.
Caleb and I have talked a lot about PC gaming, right? Because Caleb's a big PC gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what's held me back from building a gaming PC is that
the cost.
yes,
really.
I play so much League of Legends, but outside of that, I don't enjoy the mouse and keyboard playstyle. I like a controller. in
It
my
takes a
hand.
lot to adapt to, and even games like Dark Souls or like Super Meat Boy, people still recommend you use a gamepad for
I
them.
was gonna say you can easily buy a controller for PC, games.
But not like an SNES controller.
But in a lot of games,
They're bad. I hate
and
third-party
I will
controllers.
say,
No,
with
even
my
the,
perspective, going back and playing like first-person shooters or something, or like, you know, what were we playing, Battlefront? I would personally enjoy playing that more on the PC because of the way the aiming system works there. But like, it's
I'm a
still,
controller kind of guy still.
yeah, right. And some people are just like that, and so
I
they
grew
can
up with
take
consoles.
value out of stuff like that, where, you know, it gives you that nostalgic original feel.
Sure.
And that's what Nintendo does is resell
Yeah.
old stuff at this point.
So to answer the question, no, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think
As long as it's not egregious, which I mean for the most part it's not. You could say Ocarina is, but
Ocarina is egregious.
But
But-
I really don't care. I've played it a million times, and I will continue to
I
play
think
it
the
every
thing
time
about
release it,
Ocarina
because
is
it's
that
such a
they
good game.
know so many people revere it as like the #1 game of all time.
Oh yeah.
So,
I can't blame them for.
you
for
said
doing
in the
it
last
over and over
episode
again,
you
'cause
think-
people like me buy it.
You think the best game of all time is Ocarina?
Yeah.
And do you also agree?
Yeah, I do. I think my favorite Zelda game is always going to be Majora's Mask, but like objectively speaking, I think Ocarina is the
well,
best.
I mean, my favorite is Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And my favorite is Twilight Princess.
But I do honestly think that Ocarina is probably the greatest game of all time, and
Just-
I think most people would agree with that
It's
sentiment.
it's like the level design is on point, and like the way you like explore the world is interesting, and so it's just done in such a smooth way.
Yeah.
Like there's no parts of that game that I'm like, I didn't really like that. But even the water temple that people hate, I'm
hate
still
the
like,
Water Temple.
No, the Water Temple I don't like at all.
I don't.
It's better on the 3DS one.
Maybe I don't have. Maybe I'm probably the outlier here, but I didn't really have a problem with it. To be
Let
honest.
me ask you guys a question. I've been thinking about this a little bit. So I'm big, as you guys know, on like top 10 lists or lists in general. And I was thinking recently about the comparison between my personal top 10 games of all time and what I think are the top 10 actual best games of all time. Because obviously, like, The World Ends With You, my favorite game of all time. It's not the best game ever made. It's just my favorite.
So
It's a
But-
really good game though.
Well, I guess here's my question coming out of that.
Very underrated game.
What I've been thinking about is, I was thinking the other day about what the, like, critically the best games of all time are. And here's a legitimate question.
okay.
How do you guys feel about World of Warcraft being in the conversation for the greatest game of all time?
Oh, it should be on that list for sure.
I'd say it'd be on the list.
I think
Considering its legacy not only for
Just with
future games,
how-
for essentially creating its own genre,
Right.
and then for how long there's still thousands of people playing it today.
tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's still a ridiculous amount of people playing it. There's no reason that shouldn't be high on the top 10
I
games
spent
list of all time.
so I was in Colorado for the last about a week and a half, and I found this cool gaming arena. If you're in the Denver area, it's called Clutch Gaming Arena. It's in Lakewood, which is on the west side of Denver. I spent a lot of time at Lakewood, just in between high school visits and college fairs. You know, I come flowers downtown here and there, go to Lakewood, play some games, and they had at Clutch they had a bunch of PCs set up, basically, like a bunch of nice gaming PCs and stuff, and there was always at least one person, if not more, playing WoW. One night or other, there's a whole group of people raiding together. Like, it was like a huge community supported through this
Yeah.
gaming arena.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
WoW is still thriving.
That and I think RuneScape was starting to become as popular as it was around the same time too, which everyone knows what that is.
I don't know that RuneScape ever got as popular as World of
Not as
Warcraft.
popular as World of Warcraft, but it had a separate sort of genre from World of Warcraft.
RuneScape, I don't think I can put in anywhere near my top 10
No,
games of all time.
I don't agree either. I don't know if I could personally put WoW in my top 10.
It's not
but
gonna
as
be in
far
mine,
as,
and
like,
I thoroughly
critical
enjoyed what I
acclaim.
played. Not only just critical acclaim, but I mean, honestly, just cultural impact,
Yeah, but like
longevity, and then again,
you're putting it in your own personal top 10.
But then again, you can't deny it. It created the MMO genre.
See, I think there's a distinct...
No other game did what World of Warcraft is doing.
we have to draw a distinct difference between my personal top 10 games, which World of Warcraft is nowhere near, and what I think are the top 10 greatest games ever made. Do you see that distinction I'm making?
Yeah. My question, Chris, is like, do you consider WoW to be on your top 10
Would
then?
it be on my list? No.
Okay.
And I played it.
That's all I was
But
wondering.
I played it. I played a lot.
How
of it.
close is it to your top 10 games of all time?
Nowhere near for me, because I mean, I never
How is
touched
it nowhere near?
Because I never touched it, and I have no reason to like
it's not
enjoy it.
super high.
But there's a
on
difference
mine.
between like your personal top 10 and then what you think are the best games ever
Yeah,
made.
but you just asked what.
Oh,
where-
oh,
Because you
oh,
could-
okay,
because you
sure.
could-
You just asked where it was on my personal
Sure,
top
so-
10. I said
so-
it's nowhere near.
I meant like your personal like top 10 best, not
See,
your
this is what I'm talking about phrasing.
Yes.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
So what I think the top,
the helium.
Lot of the helium.
I think the most influential game ever made is still going to be Oot. But
I hate that so much.
you know, like just as far as quality of gameplay, it's like babysitting.
Going down here. Get the other one. Caleb, take the other one. Caleb, take it from him.
I'm not good at parenting other
Caleb,
people's
take it
children.
from him. Take the green one from him at least. A child.
Chris is like, you committed to this.
You know, be here. You're gonna participate. You take that away from me.
But I don't know. Like,
Most influential. Oh yeah, absolutely Ocarina. There's no. I don't think there's
just
any-
like all of the old, like, you know,
Ooh,
the PlayStation.
Most
and-
influential. I think Super Mario 64 would have to be part of that conversation.
Tetris?
Influential?
Yeah. We wouldn't have modern gaming without Tetris.
I'd say Pong. not Tetris.
Okay, but like, okay, so what's the question you're really asking? Like, who was the progenitor of gaming, or like
Okay,
what?
when I make my top 10 list, which I'm working on, it'll be a video on my vlog eventually, of the top 10 greatest games ever made. Not my personal, none of my personal probably make it on there, except maybe Witcher 3. But
Witcher's none of mine. I liked it, but it's none of mine.
when I think top 10 greatest games of all time, I score them all in comparison to what was out at the time.
Okay, fair enough.
You have to look at everything objectively like that, sure, yeah.
Because if I look at, like, compared to games coming out now, Ocarina of Time is just an okay game. It's still pretty good, but it's not as good as other games coming out now, right?
Oh,
but
sure.
for its time, it was the best.
Sure, I mean, but you have a lot of games like I don't know, like Counter-Strike and stuff that are older by comparison now, but still hold that sort of like reverence for themselves.
Well, CS:GO and League are both easily in my conversation.
Yeah.
They're
CS:GO, right?
League is for sure in my top 5 of all time. CS:GO is probably my top 15.
Like Go specifically, not the original like Counter-Strike Source?
I think Go's better.
I mean, yeah, Go is objectively better, but I'd say that Source had a bigger impact than Go does.
Yeah, I think it got the goal ball started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sources also gave us, freaking Dust.
What's the most influential first-person shooter of all time? Is it Halo 1?
I'd
Is
say
Halo
Halo.
1 the most
Influential?
One of them.
GoldenEye.
Quake.
GoldenEye.
Quake.
GoldenEye probably.
Quake.
I'm,
Totally
I'm,
Quake.
Well, I'm gonna say GoldenEye.
Which one came out
specifically?
Quake.
Let me clarify. Specifically for console, because GoldenEye,
Okay, what about like Doom? Like I don't know. That
I'd say as a whole, Doom.
Oh, Doom, yeah.
Doom
I forgot
easy.
Doom.
Doom is bigger than Quake.
Doom 1.
Yeah.
Granted, there's not a Doom.
Well, there was,
clone,
like,
there's a
Doom
Quake
Arena.
clone.
But is Doom more influential than Halo? Because Halo
Yes.
created
yeah.
the first-person shooter genre as we have it now.
Yep.
Not the genre itself, but the genre as we have
Yeah,
it now.
but like it really, I maybe your question isn't guided enough. You know what I mean? Like
Halo spawned from GoldenEye, and then the popular first person genre spawned from Halo after that. Halo, I think, was very late to the game. If you want to talk most influential of all time, I don't think there's beating Doom.
I don't know.
Because
just in the first person shooter
Doom is
arena.
considered the first person shooter.
But that's the same argument that would say that Pong is the most influential game of all time because it was the first game.
Yeah, but what about as far as like multiplayer aspect goes? I think Quake was more influential because Doom Arena was kind of like a. Although I don't know the timeline.
Quake wouldn't exist without Doom, though. Is why I consider Doom
Yeah,
number one.
I don't know. It's.
But you could, with every single thing...
I feel like it's really
Doom
subjective.
Doom did have multiplayer, and Doom's multiplayer was unbelievably popular.
It's because of like how that area in time was when everyone was coming up with these new ideas and that weren't relatively explored. Like I feel like it's a really subjective question.
Plus, everything you can always trace back one step and see what it came from and say that's more important.
I understand that, but I legitimately think Doom is probably considered to be more important by most people than Quake.
Like, would you say that Star Wars is the most influential sci-fi of all time?
Star Wars isn't sci-fi. It's fantasy.
It's fantasy sci-fi. It's basically sci-fi.
It's space fantasy. That's
People,
not sci-fi.
people who... It's basically sci-fi.
No,
The average person considers it sci-fi.
the average person is stupid.
Hold on. Okay, what you're saying is that sci-fi is like the
Trek.
future.
Sci-fi usually has some decent basis within actual scientific rules, and I mean, obviously, it branches off.
Whereas
and
the
does all that sort of
Force-
thing is sci-fi is considered to have harder science as it, whereas Star Wars is mostly like the Force is like space magic.
Yeah.
And it follows the tropes.
No, I
of
actually think
of
that's a really
fantasy
fair
genre
point.
And that sort of thing. Star Wars is considered a space opera.
'Cause I've definitely
let me
heard
like,
this argument
would you
before.
say Star Wars is the most influential space series, space fiction universe of all time?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Star Trek was a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of those
Star Trek
have
was
their
a
roots somewhere
huge-
else.
Yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, in terms of Doom, Doom I think is considered the one. If you were to go out and ask people, have you heard of Quake or have you heard of Doom, they're going to tell you Doom.
Yeah, Quake was not as popular.
Quake was extremely popular
I'm not saying
for
it
like
was.
people who are like
I'm not saying
30
it
to 40
wasn't.
and older.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but what I'm saying is that I think Doom was more popular.
Doom's had more lasting cultural impact than Quake, I think is what he's saying.
I feel
No,
like Quake
do-
started the multiplayer
I do
genre
think
though.
on the first person shooter niche, especially when it comes to like hardcore gamers and that sort of thing, they'll probably answer you Quake. But the problem is that I think it's more popular within that niche than it is in the
What
general.
about Unreal
populace.
Tournament?
Now, Quake was not
Unreal Tournament's a
something
big deal.
Unreal Tournament also has to be in that conversation.
the thing is that I never
yeah.
played any of these games. I've only heard
I did.
through reference, and so
I
it's-
did, and that's why I say Doom.
I have
Yeah.
also played Doom. Doom 1's really good.
I played Doom. I played Quake. I played Unreal Tournament.
Doom 1 like actually holds up today.
Perhaps a little bit clunky.
Oh, they're all clunky now. It's
But it's
terrible.
fun. Doom 1's a lot of fun. I played it on my old
Arcadey.
flip phone.
You can actually if you ever play Doom now though, make sure you play it on PC with the mod that allows you to that essentially gives you modern first person controls because you couldn't originally look up or down on Doom, and it's really weird to navigate with.
Well, because I literally played it. I played it not on this flip phone, but I had a different flip phone that had Doom on it.
It's like playing GoldenEye now and using one stick. You know what I mean? But as a whole, I think Doom is probably the most influential first-person shooter of all time. However, pertaining to consoles, GoldenEye easy.
Okay.
GoldenEye created the first-person genre on consoles. It was considered a PC thing until GoldenEye, and not that there weren't first-person shooters on consoles, but none of them were considered to be good.
Well, it's mostly that you had to start it off with the N64 controllers, which ended up being
GoldenEye did
goofy.
it. GoldenEye was massive. And it's still considered one of the best N64 games of all time. It doesn't hold up now because, I mean, technology has advanced
Also,
so far.
screw Oddjob. If you play Oddjob, you're a douche. And I
You're a
hate
terrible
you.
person.
I have no.
So Oddjob is like short. He's shorter than all the characters. You can't see him.
Have you played? Have you?
Oh, so he's
question
just.
is, have you played? GoldenEye?
This is like saying, "Wow, you play LeBlanc.
no,
I hate
no,
you."
no. Have you played GoldenEye?
No.
Originally, okay. Because it's the one stick on the N64. When you push up on the stick, you walk forward and then you strafe left and right. And so, in order to get fine looking controls, you would hold one of the triggers and then move the stick, and then you'd move the gun around. Because Oddjob is like half the height of every other character, you had to stop and look down at him in order to hit him. He's
He'd
literally
kill you before you could kill him.
literally broken. Not only that, he had a move where he would take off his hat, and his hat would pop like saw blades around the edges. And if you die to one hit with the hat, he's the most broken character in the game.
It's not comparable to LeBlanc. In your life of playing League,
I just mean
nothing
like
in League is
I'm just
broken.
mean like, oh, you picked him. I hate you for it. Like that's all I'm saying.
Now, also as part of that conversation, I think in terms of influence on modern first-person shooters, Halo takes the cake easy.
Think back to like Feral Flare Udyr. Like that level
Although,
of broken.
I think you could also make the argument with Modern Warfare. And I think Modern Warfare might have a bigger impact on games now than
I think Halo,
does.
because we went. I realize I'm making an annoying argument that I just argued against myself, but Halo.
I was about to say now you're making the argument. You're disputing the you can always trace it back one step further. Look how many military shooters we got after Modern Warfare, and how many of those tropes, such as the way progression
But
works,
we already
and
had,
leveling, and that
but
sort of
all
thing.
of them existed before. Most of them ended after Modern Warfare. I mean, like Medal of Honor.
Every game progresses like Modern Warfare does now.
But I'm saying, like, think about how many of those games don't
even
exist
Halo
anymore.
does it now. Halo now uses
Well, like with the level
concepts from-
design and
huh?
like with the level design and
No,
kinda
no,
like
oh
that's-
god, no. COD's level design is garbage. No, what I'm talking about specifically is.
I liked some of the COD levels. Modern Warfare 2 had a neat.
No, I'm talking about now.
Oh, okay.
It's garbage now.
Sure.
Except Nuketown. Nuketown will always be.
That's
best
not a new
girl
one. That game's
level.
almost 10
No,
years
no,
old.
no, no. Like level design is in like campaign is
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
dude, have you
referring
played
to.
the new Nuketown in Infinite?
It's the same Nuketown.
No, but you can run up the walls, so it's different. It's different.
I hate you.
It's so prettier.
No, I'm,
So
I'm,
much
ta-
fun
I'm talking
about
specifically
Nuketown.
with progression. If you were to sit down and play any first-person shooter now, there will be echoes of concepts that multiplayer and Modern Warfare introduced, especially when it comes to progression specifically.
360
and,
no scope
and
easy.
loadouts and the way you unlock guns and that sort of thing. That's all Modern Warfare. 'Cause Halo's an arena shooter. The original Halos are an arena shooter. Modern Warfare and most first-person shooters after that are not. Because of Modern Warfare.
Okay.
But I mean, before Modern Warfare, you weren't wrong. And any time that a company was making a first-person shooter, there was a term where, like, is this going to be the Halo killer? Because Halo was the thing.
Everything was everything in all of gaming was in terms of Halo.
For a little while.
Yeah, I would say, especially like around Halo 3 is where it peaked.
Yeah, between Halo,
Halo
2 and
2 is
3.
pretty big.
Two. I think most people would probably say 2, because 3 and
Halo 3, I think, was
But
way
the
bigger.
period
3
when it
and
was most
Modern Warfare
popular.
released the same year. They both came out in 07. And so that's why most people will end up saying 2, because most people had already moved over to Modern Warfare.
What is the bummer? Because I far prefer a Halo style of multiplayer to Modern Warfare multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, there really aren't.
I mean, they released Halo Online and everything, which I've yet to download.
It's okay. I've played it. It's decent.
It's Halo 3.
it's similar to Halo 3.
Well, this is why-
it's like buying it's like going and buying Lucky Charms, but instead of buying the Lucky Charms, you get the bag with the weird logo on it. And
Charms of luck. Charms of
it's,
luck.
it's the off-brand Halo 3 is what it is.
My favorite off-brand cereal is Crispy Rice. 'Cause it's just
Now you understand it's the
Just flip
same
the order.
thing, and there's a lot of similarities, and it looks like Halo 3, but it's
or
not.
Ruby
Halo 3.
Fruit.
It doesn't taste the same. You know.
Did you
Ruby
you haven't
Fruit.
played multiplayer in Destiny 2 yet, have you?
It's very Halo.
Nope.
Destiny 2 is Crucible mode, which is their multiplayer mode, is the modern Halo multiplayer. Crucible is might be my favorite part of Destiny. Crucible is so much fun.
I have a few issues with Crucible, but I thoroughly enjoy it.
Like, I don't like multiplayer shooters. I just don't enjoy them.
I do.
But Crucible is literally so much fun in Destiny 2.
Cruisible's a lot of fun. It's got a few issues that I have.
The maps aren't all great.
A lot of the map
Screw
design
the
is
forest map.
the majority. Yeah, that forest.
That map sucks.
No, you're thinking of the temple.
The one on Earth, the EDZ map.
No, I like the easy one.
What, there's two EDZ maps. One of them's bad and one of them's good.
Which one do you not like?
The one where the castle. I think it's called the castle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That map sucks.
Yeah, it does, I agree. The other one I like.
Yeah, but that's they're both EDZ.
Is that one easy?
The castle's EDZ.
Oh, I didn't know that. No. Screw the castle level. That one
That,
sucks.
that was literally the horrible. The horrible.
It feel
Literally the horrible.
to relate it to you. It feels like a Halo 3 big team battle map, but you're still doing like 4v4. It sucks.
Right.
But I mean,
Like
yeah,
Gorge or whatever.
Yeah.
Bungie's approach to Destiny 2's multiplayer maps feels very Halo. There are a lot of very Halo-esque decisions.
Hey,
taken there.
Which I guess you can't blame them for, like...
No, it's the same company. Of course they're gonna do
Favorite
the same thing.
first-person shooter online multiplayer
Halo
map.
3
Single map.
map. Guardian from Halo 3.
Modern Warfare 2... Probably Sahara.
No, Lockout from Halo 2.
Halo 2, Blood Gulch.
No, it wasn't Afghan.
Coagulation.
Afghan.
It's a Coagulation?
Coagulation is the name of it in Halo 2. It's
Dude,
Blood Gulch in the first game.
Afghan from Modern Warfare 2
Coagulation, then.
with the downed airplane and then the caverns and like the ridge up above. That map was freaking
Coagulation is good.
Coagulation is my favorite all-time multiplayer map.
Have you
I
played-
would just play that as a game.
I'm partial to Lockout myself just because I kind of prefer the smaller maps and game types.
Did neither of you play Modern Warfare or COD that much?
I hate COD.
I was a COD fanboy
I
when I
played
was like
Lockout.
15.
I didn't play a lot of the first Modern Warfare. I played through the campaign and enjoyed it. I didn't really.
What about
it-
the second one?
It wasn't the kind of multiplayer that I liked because Halo 3 came out the
Yeah,
same
but Modern
year.
Warfare 2 had so
I
many
stuck with
amazing
it.
maps.
Modern Warfare 2 I played the hell out of.
Hell yeah,
I'm just
bro.
telling you guys, the
and
best...
then I played the original Call of Duty Black Ops, and that's the best one in the series. Black Ops is my favorite
I
one.
like Black Ops 2 a lot.
I think they changed a
More
lot of the
Black Ops
guns to the extent that it made me a little bit weirded out by the game.
Black Ops took place during the Cold War.
Right. Not like, oh, this gun is old. like
Yeah, it was more balanced. Modern Warfare 2 was wildly unbalanced.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You had the Barrett and the intervention, which like why use the intervention when the Barrett does the same
noob tube
amount?
is a thing because of Modern Warfare.
Absolutely.
I'm just
yeah.
saying, best Call of Duty single player, Call of Duty 3. Like, actual Call of Duty.
No,
3.
Modern Warfare. The original Modern Warfare has the best campaign.
Call
Modern
of Duty
Warfare
3.
1 has a very cool. Which is the one where the White House is getting attacked? That's Modern Warfare 2, right?
That's
This
two.
too, yeah.
Modern
Two is
War,
pretty cool.
the original Modern Warfare had a very cool story that wasn't super over the top or anything. It was very action movie, but it wasn't crazy. Modern Warfare 2 was an action movie sequel, and it got kind of nuts. That's the one where they're dropping EMPs on the White House and doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
Dude,
Not to
yeah.
mention the first Modern Warfare.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
the first Modern. No, it's not a bad thing, but it was just like huge thing.
It's
huge
like
thing, huge thing,
it's
huge
like a
thing.
Tom Cruise movie.
It didn't have a lot of time to breathe. Whereas Modern Warfare, the original, had the wonderful moment when you're in the helicopter and the nuke goes off.
Oh, that was the first one. And
That's
then
the
does that
first
one
one.
have the Chernobyl mission?
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait,
Yeah.
with Gillies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, the first Modern Warfare
Hold
was
on.
all ghillied
Hold
up.
on. That mission
Yeah.
when you're lying in the fields and the tanks come rolling and
There, you can see the footsteps of people next to you. Oh man, what a mission!
oh yeah, because it's like, oh hold on, I've got something on your radar, and you see blips start appearing, and then you see a lot more blips start appearing.
And what's great about the pacing of that mission specifically, it starts out very slow. We're at 49 minutes. We'll wrap it up here in a second. What's great about the pacing of that mission specifically is that I think that's honestly one of the best first-person shooter missions of all time, because it starts out with you being very, very stealthy. You're sneaking through all these things later. These super tense moments where you're trying not to get discovered, as like tanks are literally rolling over the top of you and like all sorts of stuff. It's nuts. Then you set out. You end up in this building. You set up. You try and take out this target, and spoilers, you miss. You kill, you think you kill the guy, but you did.
But you blow his arm
You
off.
tag him, but you didn't.
His
you
arm
don't
gets
kill him.
exploded.
Yeah, that's what I said. You miss. You didn't kill him. And then they discover you, and then it's this real high-paced thing of you running away from them. The other guy you're with gets injured, so you have to carry him, and you're running through Chernobyl.
Is that Price?
Yeah. So you're running through Chernobyl as this helicopter is chasing you down, and you're trying to go in and out. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then they tied that into the second game, where like you are playing as an underling to that character in the second.
You play as you play Soap in the first one, and then you play as Roach, who's the underling to Soap in the second one. Yeah. There's a mission in 2 where
It's
you go
weird because like
there's a
these
mission
kind
in
of
2 where you
faceless characters,
rescue
I actually
Price
felt
out of
somewhat
a
invested
castle.
in.
Huh?
It's weird because these characters who like would have been faceless in other series, I felt very invested in.
Yeah, until Modern Warfare 3, which blew everything out the window.
No, I don't even. What game?
Yeah,
That game doesn't
exactly,
exist.
exactly.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and but I mean, it's like I'm heaping all this praise on that. That was back when Call of Duty actually cared about the games that they make.
Yeah.
Which now,
There's still like $30 to $40 for 10-year-old games on the Steam store and everything, and it's like, why?
because they're very well made games that hold up really well. so
Yeah, but
far.
they have like less than 400 players online each.
I'm not even talking about online. The campaigns are amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why I used to buy Call of Duty games, was for the campaigns, and then
Yeah.
multiplayer was a wonderful bonus.
You know what else is a wonderful bonus?
Our Patreon.
Our Patreon. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/SavePointProductions. Everything that goes into the Patreon goes back to the channel. If you'd like to see us get lighting that doesn't suck, that's what we're working on right now. So, on that note, we're going to wrap up the podcast. I have been Sam. That's been
Like
Caleb.
a Christmas,
I did it
I'm Chris.
again.
like a Christmas
I'm
dinner.
I've been
Chris,
Sam.
yeah.
That's been Chris. That's been Caleb. We all have Twitters and Instagrams and Facebooks and a Patreon. Check all that out. Links in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you didn't. And I will see you later.
I'll see you too. I work here too.
We'll all see you later.
I like you.